Beautiful autumnal morning, cool and crisp. So I wanted to share a poem with you this morning from Wendell Berry, farmer and poet and environmental activist. And I forget what it's called, but it's about war with fears. And as we know, there's a lot of fear happening right now in the culture, around the election, around pandemic, around many things. So, and he speaks to how nature is a beautiful support for working with fear, but particularly as we sit in the middle of it, turn towards it, and allow it to transform itself. He says, I go among trees and sit still. All my stirring becomes quiet around me like circles on water. My tasks lie in their places where I left them, asleep like cattle. Then what is afraid of me comes and lives a while in my sight. What it fears in me leaves me, and the fear of me leaves it. It sings and I hear its song. Then what I am afraid of comes. I live for a while in its sight. What I fear in it leaves it, and the fear of it leaves me. It sings and I hear its song. After days of labor, mute in my consternations, I hear my song at last, and I sing it. As we sing, the day turns, the tree moves. So, speaking to sitting in the midst of our experience, of our heart, of our fears. And what I am afraid of comes, I live for a while in its sight. What I fear in it leaves it, and the fear of it leaves me. It sings and I hear its song. So noticing where fear or anxiety or concern arises for you. And as Wendell Berry points to, we can learn to turn towards, to meet, to welcome, to open. What is this fear? What is this anxiety? What is this concern? We hold it with kind attention, loving awareness, seeing how it moves in us, what causes it to arise, what allows for it to cease. Everything in its own nature ceases. And so the strength of our mindfulness practice, our nature practice, is learning to sit in the midst of experience, sit in the midst of whatever fires might be raging inside. And especially if we can suffuse kindness into our attention. So we're holding experience with love, with presence, and with wisdom, but knowing that all things come and go. And knowing that we can hold and have the capacity to be with experience, see it come and go. So in that spirit, let's sit together. Allowing whatever's here to be here. Taking refuge in awareness. Refuge in this knowing presence. refuge in this loving heart. And so taking a seat, grounded, feeling the earth supporting you, resting your body on the earth. Knowing that there's always visible and invisible supports for us, like the steady presence of the earth. Relaxing into that groundedness, terra firma. And also tuning to this moment, this morning, the world, the life experience happening around you, the spaciousness of the sky, the air element all around, sense of space that's holding us, tuning that spaciousness of awareness. And resting in this effortless knowing quality of mind, sounds appear and are known. Sensations in the body appear and are known. Movement of life around us, the breeze, bird song, fragrance, movement of light, creatures, appears and are known. In the same way, receiving movements of breath, rising, passing. You can rest in that steady, familiar rhythm. You can breathe with whatever's happening, breathing with sounds, breathing with the earth, and breathing with whatever emotions appear and disappear. Breathing with the heart, through the heart. And times this morning, today, noticing what movements, what blows through the terrain of your heart. Is the tenderness this morning, vulnerability, low-grade anxiety, overt fear, or maybe it's joy and sweetness, peace. Whatever's here, holding it, meeting it with a kind attention, feeling it, knowing its movements, its ebbing and flowing. And like all things, appear, stay for a while, and move through. And any particular emotion feels too strong, too difficult to bear, acknowledging that and opening the aperture of awareness to include other experience, the sounds, the space, the breeze. your whole body, touch of the earth, presence of trees. So we know that we're knowing that we're holding experience with a broad, encompassing presence. It's connected to the life around us. And in this way, we learn to be with experience, ebbing and flowing, being it with a kind attention. And in this way, we practice this morning together. Continuing to immerse awareness into the living presence of experience in this moment, watching the ways the mind takes flight into thought and image and memories and plans, and continuing to release the habit of distraction, and reestablishing present moment awareness here, embodied, connected to breath and sensation and sound, and the movement of the heart, receiving the invitation to immerse here in this moment, this living, breathing vitality. Noticing what allows you to attune to this moment. So the warmth of the sun on your face, the sounds of bird song, coolness of the air, the steady rhythm of breath, felt sense of the body pulsing and vibrating. Staying curious, connected, the dance of experience. last few minutes of the practice. Recommitting to full immersion, full awareness, moment to moment experience. Noticing what allows you to stay engaged and connected, curious, contactful with inner and outer experience. As we bring our practice to a close, noticing if there's any intention in the heart to take into your day, to meet experience, to hold whatever's arising in your heart, in the hearts of others. And I'll close again with the words from Wendell Berry as an instruction to meet whatever's here, particularly the scary places. He says, I go among trees and sit still, and all my stirring becomes quiet around me like circles on water. My tasks lie in their places where I left them, asleep like cattle. Then what is afraid of me comes and lives a while in my sight. What it fears in me leaves me, and the fear of me leaves it. It sings and I hear its song. Then what I'm afraid of comes. I live for a while in its sight. What I fear in it leaves it, and the fear of it leaves me. It sings and I hear its song. After days of labor, mute in my consternations, I hear my song at last and I sing it. As we sing, the day turns and the trees move. So good instructions for working with our whatever tenderness is arising for us in these challenging times. So lovely to sit with you as always. I'm off to teach a half day in nature, Wake in the Wild practice along the coast here, which was always lovely to be outside with a few practitioners, some of whom come on this call every day, like Barbara and Christine. And just a couple of announcements. One is I'm beginning a new class next week, online class. It's called SIT Course 6-Week Introductory Training in Mindfulness. Forms the basis for the training for my mindfulness teacher training that the trainees teach. And it's just a good introduction to the foundations of mindfulness. And so for those of you newer to mindfulness practice, or those wanting a refresher or just wanting support, people find that these ongoing courses provide a lot of support for practice. So you can find information about that on my website, markholm.org. Welcome to offer donations there for these teachings. And I have some other teachings, including tomorrow. I have a whole day long Spirit Rock online nature practice. So you can tune in online, go to spiritrock.org. Otherwise, I will see you here, same time, same place tomorrow morning. Okay, friends, take good care. Be well.